How's it going? Um, so I think what we're gonna do, ooh, I think what we're gonna do today, ah, is just a double wall cup or two and go from there. I just have a quick sip of matcha first. I ran out of puer and everything yesterday. It's a very sad thing. So I think we're gonna make two of these. I'm not entirely sure dimensionally on how I want them, and I don't know how well this clay is gonna hold up because this is like really worked reclaim. So I don't know if we're going to be okay with it or not, but we'll see. And I have about an hour to make both of these. Um, so we're gonna see how it goes. We might only get one done, but that's not the end of the world. We'll yeah, we'll go for there. You can tell that this clay is not as happy as most of my other clay bodies have been. Um, this is kind of like the cut up pieces of the hump that we had been working with. And at first, I was kind of like, do we make a double walled mug or something? Um, but I'm over that idea. I think I just want to make some kind of wide-based Junomi with a flower pattern. So the outside wall is 375 grams, and the interior will be 325 grams on this particular one we're doing. Both of these ones we're doing today. Now, in a way, I could just leave it at that and be happy, but no, we're going to undulate these and add holes. And I might even hard undulate this thing by adding another texture on top of this, adding some kind of deep throwing marks and then undulating and seeing what happens. And I do this, I went through a phase of doing this and I really liked it. They did not sell well, so I stopped. Um, so maybe it's a mistake to do a couple right now, but you never know with selling stuff. Like sometimes people are really into a certain thing and sometimes they hate it. And so it's like, you gotta do it a couple times in different timings just to kind of actually figure out if it was just a timing issue or if it was the actual piece itself that no one liked. There we go. Nice soft undulation. I'm psyched. I think that's going to be lovely. So like I said, we're going to make two of these. It's going to require a decent amount of torching. And so the first step we're going to do here is torch everything except the top inch of clay. I've been thinking about the walled pots a lot recently because I just had to write an article for how to make them for a magazine, and so I've been trying to I didn't realize how hard, how many steps and how hard these are until I had to write it out. I kind of space out and just talk while I'm making them, so I don't think about it. But there's a lot to it. Interesting. So I've never seen I I clearly am not used to it. I'm just now noticing after all this time that I have like this cool little goal button. I'm not expecting anybody to donate anything, but I do like like this little cool uh, um, thing. Let's do that because I don't even know what that does. What does that do when I do that? All right, so we torched it. We're gonna insert another piece in there in a little bit, but before that, we're gonna make another exterior section. So I'm on this wood firing conference that is happening in June, and my last participant just signed up to fire with me, um, which should be good. I ordered a cord of wood for this next upcoming firing, which is pretty exciting. Um, yeah, excited for that. That cord of wood should be here on this weekend. I'm not even close to being able to fill the kiln, so we really have to like crank out some work. The cool thing is, I had been working on those whistles, right? And I think what I'm going to do is put all those whistles into the back chamber of my kiln. Um, so excited for not having to make big things. Big things are not really something I necessarily enjoy making. I make them to fill in space, but not because I really want to. They're hard to sell, and it's not. I take that back. They're not hard to sell. I don't want to ship them. The shipping cost is so high that it kind of feels weird to try to make someone pay like 45 bucks to ship a vase, giant double walled vase. Um, so I just always feel bad about it. So we're going to do the deep line thing again. I think when we come back later today, after I gone to the doctor and gone on adventures with little dog and done a bunch of fishing and all that fun stuff, I think we are going to make some single walled pots. We really need to just like make some bulk for the kiln. We don't have enough stuff, and yeah, I think we just need to make some stuff. I love making these double walled pieces, but um, they take a lot longer, and that's great. But if I can't fire a kiln, I can't make any money, and they haven't fired a kiln since um, January. So no, December. December was my last firing. So I haven't been able to make any money since then. Eating rice and beans every meal for these months. It's a good life. when we come back later and do more lives, essentially what we're going to be making is this, and that's it. There's no double wall aspect to it. I just really like these cups. And again, I don't know if the extra bit of motion in them is going to be advantageous for us. But all right, we're at three, just just over 3.5 inches tall. A perfect size. And then we're going to take our interior measurements with our calipers, and then we're going to start on the interior section of these. So the first measurement we're going to just take now is the max width minus 1/8 of an inch on either side, all the way down. And then we'll take another measurement of the top, where we are going to fuse them later on. I did a bisque firing, which is the first firing today, and I made, Christina, how are you? We made this a couple days ago. I hate this. So at some point, I'm going to break this. Maybe that'll be a fun little like live goal thing or whatever. How are you? How are the teapots? How'd everything come out? I want to see. Oops. It looks bad. I think it's this top section. It must have collapsed weirdly on me. As you can see, there's like weird ribboning happening right in here. There's like a buckle that wasn't intentional. And I don't know. The only thing that would have been a redeeming factor for it is if the holes were closer together. I don't know. I think we're gonna break this at some point. Freya, I'm glad you like it. Well, maybe I won't break it, but we'll see. We'll see. Ooh, that's not a good bat. Yeah, it has some like just I can only fit so many pieces into each kiln, and so I have to be um, somewhat selective with what I'm firing. And so if I'm not like in love with it, I know I'm not going to be in love with it after it's been fired. And so like, why put it there? I could always just make another one that we are going to be in love with. Okay, but so the 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 perfectionist aspect of it is just in the sense that it had collapse that wasn't intentional, and I really like I like intentional collapse, and then once it gets away from me to unintentional, I lose interest in it. And so it kind of needs to have, if the collapse is going to be there at the rim there, I had to have done it, not just it buckled on itself kind of situation. Oh my God, no! What? What? What's the issue that you're having? Why are the lids not doing their thing? I suppose so, Freya. I should have got better clay for this. I'm just really trying to reuse all the remaining bit of porcelain that we have before I start a new bag. As I'm down to my last fresh bag of porcelain. I really burned through the last 700 pounds really quickly. Like really quickly, like in like 2 months. And I wasn't even in here throwing. It's because I wasn't reclaiming the clay. I figured it out as we were talking. I can't really reclaim in the winter, and so honestly, I was kind of just chucking most of my clay. Oh, I got you. That happens. That's a serious bummer when it happens. Yeah, I'm sorry. I've had that happen to me quite a few times in the past. That's not fun. Oh yeah? Would it? Yeah, no, you're not alone on that. Is it worth making a new lid? Oh, we're spot on. Is that going to be too small then? We're going to go slightly too big. There we go. Slightly too big. It's always weird when you're like doing lids or anything that it requires measurements with calipers. It's always like, eh. Yeah. I mean, if the clay's still wet, that's the time to do it. If it's bone dry, just throw that whole thing away or just be happy with what you made. God, lids, trying to rematch a lid size is like, I think probably the most nightmarish thing in pottery outside of grinding shelves. There's nothing worse than grinding shelves, but so it's so nice out today that I have my fire going and it's, Olive is nice and happy next to it, but my door's open because it's so warm out. It's like 50 something degrees out. I think people who work with clay mostly just wing it. They're really good at just like, this is going to work out. Blind confidence, Freya. I think that's the key here. Oh, this is a cool piece. This is one of my aunt's pieces. She's a potter up in Massachusetts. She does these cool. She doesn't do this anymore, but this is an older piece. But pretty cool, right? A lot of birds and stuff. Yeah, I think that's closer to what it is than like scientifically trying to figure everything out or mathematically thinking everything out. I can barely add, so so I think we're gonna do our flower pattern on these double wall pieces. I'm like, I want to like the whole piece patterns, and I do when they're fired, but I just don't like them prior to firing, and I like the flowers prior and after. So, oh yeah, I haven't had the need of this. Honestly, it's hard, Christina. I mean, like remember how I was like, you have to actually measure an eighth of an inch bigger than what these say. It's like that took me, a year to figure out after making lids that kept being just too short each time. Um, anyway, that's our first little steamy piece. And let me take the measurements of this guy. They should be pretty much identical. That you definitely should, Freya. Her stuff is awesome. She's been making these sweet teapots recently. A plus. That's awesome. How'd you glaze them? Oh, this clay is bad. You see this? Can you guys see this? Like, you see how it's like cutting open in the bottom here? This is really bad clay. Awesome. I can't wait to see. I hope they are spectacular. I did a of course, of course. I did a went over to a student of mine's the other day, and I brought him a bunch of ritual glazes. Have you seen ritual glazes stuff yet, Christina? She makes that really like weird gloopy stuff out in Oregon, and I brought over a couple different colors for him to try. So he bought like a fake cone six Shino, and I brought some crawly glazes so he could put the fake Shino with the crawly glaze on top. And so I glazed them all for him while he was doing his experiment. So I'm really psyched to see how they come out. It's cool. Also, speaking of cool cone six glazes, I think Amico just came out with a glaze called ice ice wash, ice kiln, ice something. Really cool. It's like a cone six microcrystalline glaze that looks like scales almost. I think I'm gonna hopefully talk a student into buying some so we can experiment. I have no need for it because I'm not firing a cone six, but I would love to see it, you know? Good. Now the top. We're close. We're close. Almost there. I think so. It comes in like blue and green, and it has like little circular crystal kind of things. Hmm. That makes sense, Freya. How's your day going so far, by the way? What are you guys up to today? Also, Garden was saying you guys are all uh, like in the high 6 feet range yesterday. It's pretty cool. Good. Glad to hear. Glad to hear. All the Scotland doctors are all above like 6 plus, 6 foot plus. I think Garden said she was the shortest. Or am I misremembering a whole conversation? I maybe even a bit of a blur. Okay, good to know. It's definitely good to know. I have a few friends like that who just blab all the time. Oh my. Oh my. I just think it's incredible that you guys are all, but you're 7'7"? You're 7 foot 7 inches tall? All right, let's trim these. That's super cool. I don't know if I've ever met someone that tall before. Until now. Yeah, right, Christina? My dad's 6'2", my granddad was 6'5". I'm the shortest one. Shortest guy on either side of my family by quite a bit. Or not by quite a bit, but by a bit. Oh man, my hot water has finally warmed up and we don't need water anymore. Oh wait, we do need water in a second. Let me pour my hot water into my bowl so I can stop hearing it squeal over there. It's getting a little loud for my taste. Gotcha. 5'7"'s a respectable height. All right. It's a little chonky. I guess we could take some weight off, but it is the interior section and we want it to hold heat, so we're not gonna futz. Okay, this stamp is clearly busted. Wait, all right. Okay. Just like maim the bottom of this thing and I just can't see anything. That's okay. Whatever. How'd she knock herself out? How'd she knock herself out in the clinic? I know, I've been trying to do that myself, Christina. Okay. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, that's a bummer. Hopefully she's all right. Oh boy. Poor garden. Did this just happen, or was this a little while ago? Oh, that's right. She said she was out. She didn't say it was because she bonked her head. I don't remember. Fair. Not poor her at all then. All right. This one I'm happy with. Today, this my ski team was canceled because of the weather, so I'm done for the year now. And so now I have some more free time to think. So also, I sort of forgot to actually plan out a thing if you want to come here. Um, so next week I'll have more time to actually start thinking about everything. Um, but I got to go to a doctor appointment in half an hour. I got to be out the door in half an hour, and then we'll probably be back here and making more pots. I want to go on an adventure with little dog because it's so nice out too. Maybe take her fishing somewhere. It's still catch and release season until the second Saturday of April, but maybe we can just do some barbless fly fishing. She's living the life right now, it sounds like. Yeah, I think it'll be good. How about you? What do you have planned today? Pretty much am, Freya. That's sort of the life I already got. It's pretty great. Say again? Okay. So there's the base form for this guy. I'm excited for these. I want to make more me like this that are single walled later. Sure, Freya, but you guys have to send me one. I even said that I would do streams in a kilt, but you guys have yet to send me one. Oh no. Hopefully nothing bad. Do you know, is there something wrong with it, or you just what's going on? What are you dropping my jacket on the ground for? It's all covered in clay now. Olive, little lady, little lady. I don't know what you're grumbling about, but quell those grumbles, please. Little lady. Come on, grumble butt. I know you're excited for something. Gotcha. Hopefully it's just the headlight. It's never just the headlight, but hopefully it's just the headlight. Sounds good for you. So, yeah, I think we're gonna come later in here today and make like 40. Oh, here's the thing. So here's my dilemma. I have 25 pounds of clay left. Do I use all of that remaining clay and just make single wall pieces just to fill out the kiln? Or do we use some of that for more double walled work? What do you guys think? Or even single walled teapots? That's the problem. I probably won't, but I just want to make more double walled stuff. We have the three firings coming up, and I have nothing. I have a shelf of work, so I don't have enough. Oh yeah, if I have bagpipes, it's going to be horrible. So I think you don't want that one. Oh God, I don't know if this is the right channel for that. We might have to move to a different platform if that's the kind of content you guys are looking for these days. So the difference is that the single walled has two walls and doesn't burn your hand, and the double walled has two walls and doesn't burn your hand and has this cool pattern. The single wall is just a cup, like a normal stock standard cup, um, in my design. So, and one of them is significantly cheaper than the other. So the double walled ones, so these guys, they're $175, and the single version of these guys is uh, $75. So it's $100 difference. Oh my. I suppose so. All right. Okay. Okay, let's trim these guys and then poke out the holes. I'm hoping we have enough time. We've got 20 minutes to finish these up. And I think we can do it. I don't know if did I show you guys the bomb? The bombs are like not, at least on this one, it's indented weirdly. It already has a foot. Um, my mom's side of the family were big fishermen, so I grew up fishing, and then I stopped for many years because whatever, and then I started again when I got olive, and then I just yeah, uh, my grandfather taught me how to fly fish and how to tie flies, um, and then I just did kind of the rest, just trying to figure it out. Hmm. I'm glad to hear it, Freya. I'm glad that you enjoy it, even if you don't understand it. Ah! I knew the basics already. I had to teach myself. So I knew like how to like really basic fish for things. I didn't know how to fish for trout specifically, and I mainly fish for trout these days. Salmon and trout are really the only two species that I target, and so that was a learning curve. But it all kind of like flows into itself. Hmm. Glad to hear it, Freya. You gonna get into fishing, Christina? I did have to watch quite a few like videos on how to fillet and things, and so like one of the only things I watch on YouTube is a dude who catches fish and then shows how he cleans every fish. So I've kind of learned how to sort of how to play from that, and then just experience. But um, and so I weirdly enjoy that aspect of it, like a skill that I personally don't really need, but I do for the little dog. Oh no, that's not what I wanted to see. Okay, so I screwed up. um, so what I did is I was trying to make the most milliliter capacity possible, and so I had the interior as low down as possible. And in doing so, I've now met where we open up with the bottom. So it's just it's still sellable, it's still doable. The problem is that it's harder to clean these, and so this water can get trapped inside and down in this bottom section. So I just have to preface that when I sell them, which is kind of annoying. Hmm. Well, if you want lessons, I'll take you fishing, Christina. You let me know when. But it's all about trout and salmon, so I don't know how to fish for other things very well. Really want to go up to Sydney. What's up? I really want to get into steelhead fishing soon. I want to go up to Rochester, New York this year and do some steelhead fishing. I've never been. I don't have the correct gear, but I would like to. I really, they're really cool fish. I mean, they're just big trout. Um, but I think they would feed olive well. I'll show you in a second, Freya. It's hard to see because you guys can't see the angle that I'm looking at. So I'm only really targeting like different species of trout and then mostly Atlantic salmon, but steelhead would be good. I am a vegan, but I fish for my dog because she's not a vegan. So do you see how there's no gap between that layer and this piece? It means that water will get trapped in there and it's going to be hard to deal with. We That's what we went with, Sydney. Went with the double walled, you know me, and then we're going to go with single walled later on because I need to bulk fill out the kiln. Hmm. I guess I've totally committed to not going to Antica this year. I haven't booked a ticket yet and all that, so I have kind of a feeling it's just I just am not going to do it. Why is this not sticking? Sydney, did I send you? I didn't actually. I saw the message as a reminder of the puer for the white 2T. I looked at it and I was busy doing something, and then I completely forgot until this exact moment. So the next time I go upstairs, I will send you that. Yeah, it is very dependent on what you're fishing for, and the bait is different, and how you fish it's different, and the equipment's different. Um, I like trout and salmon because they're pretty, and I think they're just like really gorgeous looking fish, and so I like catching them. I don't really want to catch a bass. I think they're really ugly. Um, I like yellow perch because they're pretty, so I do target yellow perch every so often, but they don't get very big, and so I don't really have any interest in trying to feed them to olive. Unless of course, I catch one as a byproduct because if you troll for trout, a lot of the time you'll get perch as well, depending on what body of water you're in. I'm probably on my way home gonna go see if I can find a little brook trout or two just to say hi. My buddy tied some really nice flies tonight. Haven't gotten to try them out yet, so I think I'm gonna just try that. Yeah, they are pretty. There's not too much meat on them. That's the problem. If you're doing it for meat, it's kind of like bluegill. They're really pretty though, and I like them because they're native, just like the perch are. Um, this one I threw better than the other one. Yeah, well, I don't know. You say that, and it feels like I don't actually do too much. Okay. Well, if you pick a species you like, let me know, and I can direct you in the right, or try to direct you in the right direction, put you in the right direction. Also, bluegill are really easy to catch. They'll eat literally anything. Okay, so now we can talk about why I messed up on the other one versus this one. So, Freya, if you look, if you see the issue with this one, so it's okay. It'll be fine. Maybe maybe I'll keep it for myself if it looks really pretty and I feel like it's gonna not be super functional for someone to use. I'll just keep it and whatever. I don't know why I took this bat off. I did want to take this off. I didn't want to take this off. All right, let's poke out some holes. And I thought I brought in, yeah, there they are. We're gonna do our flower pattern again because I really like the flowers. And I liked the squiggles a lot. Maybe I wasn't super psyched on part of them because of how they were fired, but um, the glaze, like I said before, I'm kind of over that. My blue glazes. I want orange. I want pink. I want purple. I'm so bored of blue. That being said, a lot of those little mini pendants are going to be blue. So I want to. Here's my only dilemma with the purple is that on its own, it just completely disappears in my kiln. My kiln has too much atmosphere or something, and it just washes out the color completely. But I want to layer a chino on top, and I think adding the chino on top of it might make it so the purple stays. And so I'm going to do it just goes white. It's a really beautiful white, but it just goes white. So we'll do a bunch of them like that because I like white. I didn't like white for a million years, but for tea wear, white is really nice because you can really see um, the color of the steep, and that is kind of an important aspect to tea drinking. Hmm. Luna, what's up? It is like one of the I have if you remind me on Instagram, I'll try to remember to send you a photo of one because I kept one that broke. That was the purple that has like a hint of purple in it, but not much. Yes, but that was a different thing. That was actually just a Shino. That's my Gustin Shino that I'm going to be making. That's going to go over all of my um, orange and purples and stuff. Yeah, the Gustin Shino is awesome because you get all the cool effects of a Shino, but it comes out white. And it's a pretty easy recipe to make as well, which is nice. Granted, it has I can't remember if it's either petalite or spodumene in it, so it is now not the cheapest glaze to make, but right, right. The orange is my favorite so far, but I'm excited to go to the pink, and I'm excited to go try the purple, see how well it goes. It we're gonna. I don't know if I'm gonna have time to. That was a weird sound effects I just made. I think I actually have to wrap the other one up really tightly and come back to it because I don't think I have time to put holes in both of these. I thought I could make two double wall pieces in an hour with all the holes and everything, and it turns out I cannot. We're close. I think we probably could if I pushed it, um, but it takes half an hour to get to this doctor office, so I don't. And the appointment's at 12, and it's 11:24, so I don't think I would make it on time. Good to know, Sydney. I honestly, this is a follow up from just when I went for my yearly 3 months ago. Um, and this is just like a follow up, I guess. She wanted to see me. I actually don't really know why I'm going to the doctor today. Um, I would prefer not to, not because I don't like going to the doctor. I actually really enjoy going to the doctor. She's a friend of mine. She's only like 2 years older than me, and so we end up just talking for a really long time. So I enjoy going. I just you know uh, I'd rather not today. But I do have to go into that town anyway. Uh, my mom is also renewing her Canadian passport and everything, and I have to send off the paperwork for her, and it's in the same town, so it all works out. It's like in the 50s where I'm at outside. Okay. I'm gonna be late, so I have to go. But take a look. Not too bad. We got one done. It's not fully done because we have to add some other stuff to it, but blah 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 blah. That'll be done later. So I'm gonna put both of them on this board. Is this actually? Oh, actually, this one is done. I just need to clean it, so that can start drying. This one needs to be wrapped up quite tightly because if it gets any drier than it is right now, I will not be able to put the holes in it. So these dryer bags are fantastic. um, for this kind of stuff because you can see what's in there, which is really nice. And they really help keep in moisture. So, okay, I appreciate it. I gotta go. I'm late. Bye. Thanks for hanging out.